Yo, what's going on, man? It's Fatal Clinch Rise Dante. You know what's going on, man. Um, but yeah, let me talk about Tekken 8 because I think there's some big things. Yeah, I see people complaining and all that, but I think there's some big things that people aren't really mentioning about the game, and like why the game's actually failing and what's so bad about the game. Obviously, there's a lot of things that are kind of bad about the core gameplay, but I feel like these things are going like unchecked and unnoticed. The things that I'm going to talk about. So I want to kind of give a different kind of perspective on some of these issues. So one of the first things off the bat, yeah, I will say about Tekken 8 and the way it's been designed, yeah, just from the straight up get go, is the fact that they added on mechanics. So like I mean that in a way as in Tekken 7, right? Like they added the rage drive mechanic, right? So they added that mechanic. That was like a mechanic that they added. But like in Tekken 8, right? They added heat on top of the rage mechanic, but heat is so much more complicated than the just rage and how rage drive worked. And like heat within it has its own kind of mechanics. Do you know what I mean? It has heat dash, heat burst. So like these are all kind of like mechanics that they added to Tekken. And remember, like look at Tekken 6 going to Tekken 7, they added stuff. They added power crush. They added mechanics from Tekken 6 going to Tekken 7. So like if you look at it in terms of Street Fighter, they don't really just straight up add mechanics on top of what they've already got, if that makes sense. Like they change the mechanics and how the mechanics work. So in Street Fighter 5 you had V trigger, do you know what I'm saying? And then you had the odd couple 1-2 things, but in Street Fighter 6 they removed V trigger, do you know what I'm saying? And V trigger cancel, and they added drive. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like they replaced the whole like mechanic and the way that worked. So that's the way you should do it, in my opinion. I don't think like you should have mechanics that are already there and then just pile more mechanics on top of it. And then like think about it, if they really wanted it to be more like newcomer friendly, why would you pile on mechanics that are like literally overcomplicating the game? So I feel like that's one of the reasons straight off the bat that Tekken 8 feels so kind of like bad to play, because you've just got too much mechanics. And remember, they added new mechanics to the combo system. So like obviously you had tailspin, which is basically the same as your Tekken 7 tailspin, or your tornado, whatever you want to call it. But they also added the strong aerial spin as well, which you can do multiple times. And they added heat burst bound. So they've added 3 different types of combo extensions to your regular juggles. So like the combos is going on way too long for obvious reasons, because you literally added like loads of like, you know what I mean? You added unnecessary mechanics to the combo system for no reason. Like I don't know whether they wanted it to look pleasing and stuff, but like it's not good for the game. People don't like being in the combo for like 10 years. And remember, like casuals as well, like casuals, like when like I don't know if anyone's ever played like a casual when you like know what you're doing. Like a casual doesn't know combos, but they do not like getting juggled forever. They get frustrated. They don't like it. They're like, yo, you won't even let me get up. Like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? So how is this like good for the casuals? I don't understand the mindset here. So yeah, that's the first kind of point that I wanted to touch on. The second point that I wanted to touch on was recoverable health. So why nobody is talking about recoverable health being just a terrible mechanic is beyond me, because I personally think this mechanic it's just really bad. And I'll let me explain why. I need to explain why this mechanic's bad. You know what I'm saying? Wait there. I need a sip of my water before I get into this, because yo. All right. Recoverable health, yeah. It's basically designed for you to not take accountability for the dumbass decisions that you made. So like, basically your mistakes get erased because of recoverable health. So like, let me explain it. So you could do, let's say a hop kick, yeah, that's minus 13, for example, or whatever. Or you could get launched. You could whiff and get launched. And it's already hard to, force a whiff and launch someone in this game. So let's say you whiffed and you got launched. That combo damage now isn't like the straight up 100% combo damage that you would have done before, like say in a game of Tekken 7. You can't get the health back in Tekken 7, but in Tekken 8, like you could do something, a bad decision, right? Get launched or whatever, and then like you could get up and then start your mix up or whatever, which literally took no fundamentals. You just like just started doing offense, or even making your opponent block your offense, and you can start regaining the health that you like, do you know what I mean, lost because you got punished. So I just think recoverable health's like really bad for that, because and it makes the game feel like it plays bad, because again, people can just make mistakes and then get rewarded with health back purely because they was being offensive, or do you know what I mean, guessed right on a few mix-ups and that. So it doesn't, the game doesn't even function the same way it did before in Tekken 7. Like if you made a mistake in Tekken 7, you got punished, you're not getting that health back, bro. You've got to hold that. Do you get what I'm saying? You got to hold that. Your crutch was, okay, I'm going to get in rage and I could do my one-time rage drive. Do you know what I'm saying? But like even in this game, it's like you've got heat and they took away the ability to power crush. Like, I would say a heat smash is basically like a rage drive. Let's keep it real. It's like a rage drive that you can do right at the end of your heat bar. And you can't even power crush it. Like, and I would argue in this game, you have like, there's even more of a reason why it should be power crushable, because you can access it at any point in the game, whereas in Tekken 7 you had to wait until you got rage. So like, I don't understand how they're pushing for, power crush to be such a active kind of quote unquote defensive mechanic, but they still won't allow you to power crush heat smashes to you know what I mean, and that would help you reduce the chances that you get put into these checkmate situations where you block a rage heat smash, and then now you got to hold a mix up, and if they guess right on that mix up, you've lost the whole round. Like how does that feel good? That's not fun to play. Blocking the opponent's heat smash, holding chip damage as well, and then because you guessed wrong after that fact, you lost the whole round. Like that's dead, man. And you can do that after getting a heat engage. Do you know what I'm saying? It's silly. It's silly. So yeah, that's kind of my stance on recoverable health, and that's not me even talking about what they did with it in Heat, where you know what I mean, you get hit on the ground in Heat, and now you know what I'm saying. It's recoverable health instead of real health, which is basically just a buff to Heat. That's not a buff to defense, bro. That's a buff to Heat. What are we talking about here? They buffed Heat. Like literally in season 2, they buffed Heat. Think about it. They allowed you to do Heat Smash from stance, Heat Burst from stance, and if you get hit on the floor, it's not real health, it's recoverable health all the way. Like while you're in Heat, like what, bro? No one asked for that. Like they literally did the exact opposite of what everyone was asking for. So yeah, like I don't know what was going on there, man. But yeah, I think this one goes without saying as well. This next point, chip damage. Like I just think chip damage is a bad mechanic. It always was. It always will be a bad mechanic. Even Street Fighter acknowledged that mechanic was trash. That's why they made it so you only do chip damage now when you put your opponent in burnout, which is basically, if you don't know, Tekken players, it's when you've lost all your meter in Street Fighter, and then you go into a state where you're burnt out, so you know what I'm saying, you don't have access to drive rush and all these things, like, and you're basically like a sitting duck in burnout. Things do more frame advantage, etc, etc. So yeah, they made it so that you can only do chip damage in burnout, but outside of burnout, which is a majority of the games played, you can literally do full games without even going in burnout if you manage your meter properly. There's no do you know what I'm saying? There's no chip damage. So like, I feel like Street Fighter acknowledged that, and then Tekken for some reason thought it would be a good idea to add chip damage to a game like Tekken, where Tekken's always been a game that like kind of like rewards good defense, which like, obviously, yeah, it does create skill gaps, but that's kind of what you want. Like, if, like, you know what I mean? Like, if they change the rules of boxing just to make sure that Floyd Mayweather lost, nobody would respect that. Nobody would respect that. The boxing community would be in outrage. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the same kind of thing. It's a competitive game. So yeah, man. I just think chip damage, like, it doesn't add anything good to the game. You literally just get punished for making the right decision, because there's some situations where you literally can't help but having to block, innit? Do you know what I mean? Fair enough if you could avoid having to block altogether, but then even then, like, they haven't even got that argument because they nerfed the backdash in this game. It's noticeable. Like, when I first turned on Tekken 8, I literally thought straight away, what have they done to backdash? Like, they killed it. This is why you don't see a lot of backdash with punishment anymore. It's all committal sidesteps and like, you know what I mean? Just reads, basically. It's just straight offense. Sidestep, you have to commit. It's a guess, because you're guessing that they're not going to do a homing move first of all, and then, you know what I mean, then they're not going to do a certain move that tracks that way. With backdash, it's a safe way to move and create whiffs without having to make the hard read of, oh, is he going to do a homing move or whatever. You can make that homing move with the backdash, and they know this, and they knew that, you know what I mean, like, backdash cancelling, like, it created skill gaps. They literally said it, and they wanted to actively get rid of that, and now their game's dying because of it. Like, I used to compete for this game. I used to fly out. I used to love Tekken 7. Do you know what I mean? Tekken 8, it's unrecognizable to me. Do you know what I mean? I play Street Fighter now. Like, for anyone that don't, I just play Street Fighter. I don't even compete. Like, I just have a lot of fun playing Street Fighter 6 right now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So if we're talking about the neutral, like, I kind of was touching on it with the backdash. Like, they nerf backdash, so it's basically, it's just made an environment where there's no neutral being played, and like, and the thing is, I feel like the whole concept of heat engage lends itself to killing the neutral as well, because like basically a lot of things that probably would have counter hit launched before or something are now heat engage situations, and like, you have to sit there and just guess, like, from the heat engage, and it's just like, that's not fun. I would argue you probably, like, I would rather just get counter hit launch, wake up, and then, you know what I mean, carry on playing, instead of holding one heat engage. They get all this health back as well, and then they start doing another mix up, which could be their heat smash or whatever, or they could go into full crouch. That's like, forget about, you know what I mean, all the intrinsic stuff. Like, that's just not fun, man. To me, it's not fun to play, like, just getting heat engaged and some guys running at you, but you're still in the same spot. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. So I just feel like, yeah, the whole neutral game of Tekken has just been killed. It's just straight offense now, like, and just hard reads. Like, heat was a mistake, man. It was just a big mistake. Let's talk about combo length. Like, I think I already touched on it a bit, but like, the combo length is a big issue, man. No one is trying to sit there and hold a combo for as long as these combos can go on. And then like basically I feel like as well, only certain characters have this, but I think it's really bad. You know those animations where you can hit them and it does like a tailspin, like with a hit animation, like Dragonov and Lydia, like they do it at the wall. That's really bad as well. Like just that, like why do I have to sit there and watch this animation? I get that they're trying to make it cool and they're trying to give personality to the characters, but it's just not fun for the person who got launched. Do you know what I mean? It's really not. That's not fun. And the thing is, it's kind of cool when you see it for the first maybe 5 times. But after the first 5 times, it gets old very fast. It's the same exact animation. It doesn't change every time. It's not good, man. I just like that whole concept as well. I just think that was a really bad decision. Yeah. I spoke about Heat Dash launches before. I think they should be gone. So I spoke about that. So yeah. I'll just put that to the side. But here's a kind of hot take that I had here. But this, I truly believe this to be the case, and people can disagree with me. I really don't care. But like, I basically think because of the aggressive nature of this game needed counter hit throws, and I say that because like, okay, counter hit launchers, fast counter hit launchers was a core part of Tekken 7, and the reason why it was such a, I don't think it was bad. Like, I don't think it was bad because basically what it does is that fast counter hit button would stop your opponent being able to set up mix up so easily, if that makes sense. So if they wanted to like run up and do said mix up or whatever, like they would have to condition you to the point where you freeze and you don't press your counter hit button, right? And I feel like this game was a lot more enjoyable when counter hit throws, like the guaranteed counter hit throws, were a thing, because you had the threat of like turning the tide with that counter hit throw, doing your Oki situation and snowballing them from there if they got too aggressive. Do you get what I'm saying? So you could stop the aggression. You had a designated tool to every character to stop the aggression, and they had to keep it in mind. I think I saw a big tide in how much people enjoyed the game once they took the counter hit throws away. I know people complained, but I think I will just call it a spade. I think people complained because they don't like they don't like their stupid offense being countered. That's why they complained about counter hit throws. If you got counter hit by this 12 frame move and you hold a knockdown into some Oki, I don't see what the big issue is. Like, I really don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the homing thing, okay, you could argue that, but the counter hit throws, people genuinely complained about the counter hit throws, and yeah, I'd think it was a really bad decision to take that out of this game. This game needed it. Like, there would be a lot of gaps where you could fit the 12 frame throw in. Do you know what I mean? And it would counter power crush as well. It would have just made the game flow a lot better, and it would have given a good deterrent to just the stupid offense in this game. So yeah, let's talk about a different angle of it. So I'm going to talk about the competitive results, and like, I feel like this is kind of being overshadowed as well. But like, I'm a Jack player, right? So like, I kind of like to keep an eye on the other Jack players and stuff, right? And like, back in Tekken 7, let's keep it real. Anakin at one point was basically top 5 in the whole world. Yeah. Man like Anakin. Yeah, big up Anakin. Bad man player. Like, he was... And the thing is, like, he was doing it with like timing and spacing and precision. And you know what I mean? And I feel like this game like is designed in such a way that he can do that to a certain extent, but not to the extent where you can do it to win tournaments anymore. And like, it's not just Anakin. There's a lot of players that have fell from grace, basically. Like they they used to do mad sick in tournaments, and then like I can't remember the last time I seen one of these guys in top 8. Granted, I don't watch the game because I don't like it, but I ask about the results and stuff. And from what I've been hearing, a lot of guys that were doing smoke back in the day, that were on smoke, they aren't on smoke no more, and I think it is like evidence of how bad the game is, basically, like gameplay wise. I think, like, you know, where's Saint, where's, like, you know what I mean, what, like, obviously don't get twisted, people use the excuse of knee still winning, right? But like, obviously I think I saw a video not long ago, and then like I think it was Joker, and he asked like knee, how many hours do you play? My Donny still plays like 6-7 hours a day, I swear. Forgive me if I'm quoting it wrong, but 6-7 hours a day. But like, I'm not being funny, but not even like the competitive players in the state that the game's in, I doubt a lot of these guys are playing the game enough to do that. So like, yeah, like a player as experienced as Knee, and like, you know what I'm saying, as good as Knee, of course he's still going to be able to do madness, like especially if he's playing the game that much. But like, come on, man, you can't, that's like unrealistic levels of having to play the game. And I would argue like Tekken 7 was a game where you could actually do well competitively without having to play it that extensively, because your core skill and the natural gifts that you're given as a person or as a player can shine in that game. Your timing, you know what I'm saying, your movement, your precision, like your decision making. But like in this game, like this game punishes you even if you make the right decision. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if you block Lydia's flipping stance +6 mid, you got punished for that, because now you're guessing again. Do you know what I'm saying? After the +6 thing, and she's not the only character that does that. Like Eddie does that kind of stuff. Like these double guess characters. That's another thing as well. Let's talk about the double guess situation. This was like an unknown thing before pretty much Tekken 8, where a character could make you guess right and still punish you and force another mix-up after you've guessed right. This is a thing that's been added to Tekken 8, and I just don't understand for the life of me why it's even a thing. And this is a core design of certain characters, right? So that as well is just really, really bad. It's just bad, man. Like, what? Like, you shouldn't be getting punished for guessing right. Do you know what I'm saying? Eddie can go into stance, do the mid, and then he's plus, and then he's in relax, and then he can do another relax mix up, and like there's countless examples of this in like Tekken 8. So yeah, man, it's just it's sad to see, man. It's sad to see. But yeah, I ain't got really too much more to say on the matter. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm not really a content creator. I don't really do this much, but I just wanted to say 1-2 pieces and give like a couple different angles of like looking at this game and why it's failing and why it's doing so bad. So yeah, man, let me know what you think. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm just waffling. But yeah, maybe I'm telling the truth, and some of these issues are actually really big issues, and they're core design issues. It's not just little balancing issues. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Peace, man. Catch us in a bit. Safe.